1 second here. Oh god. What's wrong with the audio? Ow. Fuck. 1 second. Good god, there's something wrong with my headset. Ow. Okay. God, I hope you didn't just go through the same thing that I did. Ow. My, I don't know what happened to my headset, but it just went, like, all static. And, like, you know, like the white noise from a TV back in the olden days? Just like the noise and everything like that? Fuck me. It just did that at, like, full blast into my ears. So, I had to restart Voice Meter Potato after unplugging and replugging in my headset, and then reselect the headset mic on my inputs. Anyway, ow. Let's move on. Hope you're all doing well. It is Tuesday, which is always a lovely day. I took the afternoon off from work because I had a headache yesterday and it persisted through till today. And, you know, it was lucky enough for me that I didn't really have many important meetings in the afternoon, so I could cancel them. Anyway, as I tweeted, I had a bit of a late dinner, so apologies for being about 45 or so minutes late to my usual streaming time. So, I don't know if that will affect us being able to go, you know, far or to stream long. But I did take a nap this afternoon, so hopefully I don't get too tired. And we can enjoy the adventure of the Clouded Cocoa.
I begin to think, Wilson, said Sholmes, turning his head languidly in my direction, that there is more to this case than that which we have observed. Indeed, that there may be another part to this story that we are yet to discover. His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from his cup of herbal tea, leading him to the distant memory of that snowy evening. To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road, and to the knife in her back.
Gasp.
Lit in the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene had been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtain had risen silently on the insoluble mystery of our invisible killer.
Can we all just appreciate the writing of these intros? And how, like, good it is? Because it is. It's good. I could imagine reading that in the book. Is that too loud, I wonder? I'm looking at the monitor. Hopefully it's not too much. Actually, you know what? Because we're still kind of at the beginning of the stream here, and I already had one technical difficulty. Oh no, listen to my stream. Oh no, listen to my stream. Oh no, it's fine. Listen to my stream. Good. Sorry. Excuse me. Did you sleep last night, mister? No. She doesn't even say, well, just, did you sleep? Did you sleep last night, Mr. Naruhodo? No. Not at all. It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms were so luxurious. I felt like we were staying in a palace. With all the gas lights twinkling, it was brighter than day even in the middle of the night. What about the enormous beds? After my time on the SS Burya, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space. I spent the entire night rolling from one side of the mattress to the other. Oh, yes! It really was the sort of night you can only dream of normally. Except when I learned that we owed £3 for the rooms, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Oops. Sorry about that. The building was so impressive, and the entrance so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking. In a lodging house in Japan, that sum of money would put a roof over your head for a whole year. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented with the bill. Ugh, I really am sorry. Well, never mind. We must find some more affordable lodging straight away, though. If we're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in 10 days or less. London is a scary place. Ah, good morning to you at this early hour. Oh, yes. Well. Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. We have come to report on the outcome of the trial at the Old Bailey yesterday. She saw us on amazing news. She doesn't bat an eyelid, even in the presence of the imposing Lord Stronghart. Yes, I believe you had a very comprehensive initiation into British courtroom practices. Oh, yes. It was very eye-opening, thank you. And, in accordance with your instructions, Lord Stronghart, Mr. Naruhodo performed his duty to the end. Yes, I've already been apprised of events. You conducted a remarkable defense. You may consider the test passed. Oh. No longer are you a student from the Empire of Japan. You may henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer. My country is delighted to welcome young talent from such a remote eastern island. Sorry, land. Thank you very much. I'm a lawyer now. Now, in view of your new appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that won't be a problem. Another case? Already? Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure I don't sense dissatisfaction, do I? It's just that yesterday's trial ended unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it. What's to come to terms with? The man was cleared. What more were you hoping for? The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment.
Well, Lord Banzes, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't ask for a better defense.
I just can't help wondering if Mr. McGilded really was innocent. Mr. Naruhodo. It's just that I never managed to ascertain the truth. And then the trial ended.
Well, you need let it trouble you for a second longer.
Sorry. What do you mean, Lord Stronghart?
Magnus McGilded passed away immediately following the trial.
No. What? Mr. McGilded is dead.
I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk.
I really like this game. It's so good. Like, okay, so you can see it, right? Like, Stronghart, like, doesn't give a shit about the truth. He's in the same way as, like, Von Karma was with, like, getting a guilty verdict no matter what. He's the same kind of way, but for defense. Tell me about McGill's death, buddy. I don't understand. What happened? How can he be dead?
After the trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you'll presumably recall, an omnibus had been wheeled into the courtroom.
Yes, of course. That was the scene of the crime which Mr. McGilded had been accused of.
Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some other matter, the omnibus went up in flames.
No. How could such a thing have happened?
That is being investigated as we speak, but already the police have identified a corpse found inside the charged shell of the carriage as that of Mr. McGilden.
That's awful.
The man must have slipped inside whilst the bailiff's attention was elsewhere.
That bailiff really needs to pay more attention. And how could that have happened?
That is also being investigated as we speak.
Thinking back now, immediately after the trial, Mr. McGillen did mention going back into the courtroom to look at the omnibus.
Yeah, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection.
Sorry, what inspection?
They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself.
An inspection of the omnibus? Not to my knowledge. I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of examining the carriage.
But then who was Mr. McGilden talking about?
Never mind that now. The Yard is making a thorough investigation. This matter is no longer any concern of yours. Leave it to the police.
Oh, Mr. McGilden.
So, how did you find your first taste of our country's Supreme Court?
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, it was... wow. Mr. Naruhodo means the whole experience was steeped in the solemnity of Great Britain's long history. It's really a world apart from our own judicial system in Japan, which is only a few short decades old. Wow, it's hard to in such a way with words. You seem to have a way of failing to find the right ones.
By that look of pity from her. The judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can.
Most advanced in the world, is it?
It was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair.
Simple? That was simple!
As I believe I mentioned yesterday morning, it was a trial you couldn't lose.
I don't mean to be contrary, Lord Stronghart, but the case was anything but simple. The circumstances of the case were so incriminating. I was stunned when I first heard them. In fact, I'm still finding it hard to believe that we managed to get a favorable verdict. Is something funny?
No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you did receive the not guilty verdict you set out to achieve. And that can only be attributed to exceptional talent. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, never mind. You exceeded my expectations, I freely admit. That much, at least, is an undeniable truth. Which is precisely why I prepared the new case for you that I mentioned before.
What is going on? What was he going to say before? Could you perhaps give us some more details about the new case you mentioned? Don't tell me. It's a murder and the trial starts in 10 minutes.
Don't worry. It's nothing so alarming or quite so urgent as your last assignment. In fact, this case is completely different.
Oh, I see. Did he just read my mind?
That is to say, no one has died, as yet. And the trial will not be today. There's plenty of time to research the case thoroughly. 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds, to be precise.
So the trial's tomorrow, then. Is everything alright? Oh, yes. I'm just a little confused, that's all. Yesterday's trial was... well, it's left me wondering if I'm really cut out for being a lawyer. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. I don't know if I could face standing in that courtroom again after Mr. McGarvett's trial.
Yes. I nearly forgot. There's one similarity with yesterday's case. Once again, there's currently no one to advocate for the defense.
Oh,
If the situation remains unchanged, the trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented. And if that happens, I need not remind you of the inevitable outcome.
the most terrible end awaits the defendant.
Yes, that's right.
Here we go again.
Your time is up. You have to excuse me. I would advise you to begin making preparations for tomorrow's trial. After all, the clock is ever ticking.
There is now but 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds to the court sits. Last time he mentioned the 23 hours, he said there was plenty of time.
And one more thing, Mr. Naruhodo. There's something I should like to ask you.
Oh, what's that?
Yesterday you remarked upon something that you intend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. Inside 34 seconds.
Oh, well, Cosmos used to say, you see, that he wanted to learn how the greatest justice system in the world works so he could change ours in Japan. Now that he's gone, I'd like to work towards that myself. And, there's another thing. Oh,
Another thing. Continue.
on the way here, on the steamship, he said something to me. There's something very important that I have to do.
Something very important. And what exactly would that be?
He never had the chance to tell me. I suppose he would have done if he'd ever made it to Great Britain.
You're out of time. Thank you for an enlightening discussion.
Mr. Naruhodo, what's this all about? Mr. Sogi never once mentioned anything of the sort to me.
I urge you both to focus your attention on the matter at hand. I've taken the liberty of summoning the police inspector in charge of the case. He'll be able to apprise you of the details.
How long has he been?
So, I wish you the best of luck, and bid you farewell.
There's something very important that I have to do. Kazuma-sama, what did you mean? I wish I knew. But honestly, he never told me. Anyway, we'd better talk to the detective, don't you think? Yes, you're right. I hope I'm just imagining it, but I wouldn't say he looks pleased to see us at all. What is he eating over there? Let's see. Why isn't the autosave changed at all yet? Maybe it's not like that. Oh, anyway. I like the background. Listen to that. I would totally do work in here. Like you don't even need music, you can just listen to these the whole time. What? Could we trouble you? Dude, what do you think? Oh, lovely weather, isn't it?
What's the weather got to do with anything? Listen to me, you young Japanese upstart. Some frippery about the weather doesn't get every English jet eating out of your hand, you know?
But Susato-san told me it was foolproof. Look at him eat! Oh my god! God, sorry, that caught me off guard. Is he eating fish and chips out of a newspaper?
A busy man. A very busy man. There's a crime scene to investigate, but I'm here having to give the likes of you a talking to.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry.
Can you imagine what the other officers there will be saying? Haven't seen Gregson anywhere, have you? No, he's too busy with the bigwigs these days. And all because of some bumpkin who's here on a jaunt from a country I've never even heard of. Hear that ripping sound? That's my reputation of the yard going to tatters.
There's no need to rip us apart as well. I don't believe we've been introduced. This is Mr. Yonosuke Naruhodo, a defense lawyer.
Eh?
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant,
Eh?
It's lovely weather we're having today, isn't it?
It is unseasonably fine, I grant you. London winters don't see a lot of sunshine.
Unbelievable! How did she pull that off?
So, Lord Stronghart has asked me to fill you in on the case. The name's Tobias Grayson. Inspector Grayson to you, Scotland Yard.
Gregson? Ah, Inspector Gregson. What's the matter with Susato-san? Does this detective's name mean something to her? Inspector, are you perhaps the Inspector Gregson? You're acting like you know this man, Mr. Susato. But he's a London detective. Oh, I do know him. Very well, in fact.
Very well.
Yes, he features prominently in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Oh, in that publication. What's it called again? Rance Magazine. That's right. Inspector Gregson and Mr. Sholmes enjoy a wonderful, friendly rivalry. Really? You rival the great Mr. Sholmes? That's incredible!
Oh, well, I don't know about that. Mr. Sholmes isn't a professional like myself, of course, but he does come up with the goods from time to time.
Mr. Sholmes is equally complimentary about you, Inspector, isn't he? You've earned his highest praise. Gregson is the pick of a bad lot of all the Scotland Yarders. Those are his own words. That's his highest praise. Well, Mr. Sholmes isn't particularly known for giving compliments, you see.
That he is not. Thanks to that magazine, my name's known all over London town now.
That's great, isn't it?
I have to admit that to start with, I was a little, well, flattered by all the attention. Everyone wanted to shake my hand, and my reputation at the yard went through the roof.
Oh, that's wonderful.
No, it is not! There's nothing more sinister than the man in the street. People are always looking at me now. They're whispering rumors about me under their breath, I'm sure.
Rumors? Are you quite sure?
He's changed since he started appearing in those stories. The fame's gone to his head. Stuff like that.
Gosh, do you really think people are saying such mean-spirited things about you?
Like I said, they whisper, so I can't catch exactly what they're saying. But I know what folks are like. I'm sure that's what they're saying. Sure as eggs.
I get the feeling this detective could be very hard work. Oh dear. Perhaps a sudden rise to fame does change people. So, about the case the Lord Chief Justice mentioned before.
Nothing to tell, really. As far as we're concerned at the yard, couldn't be simpler.
Oh dear. That probably means that as far as we're concerned as lawyers, it couldn't be more complicated.
I wish you were wrong about that, but I've a nasty feeling you're right. A young woman was walking along the pavement on Briar Road when she was stabbed from behind. Fortunately, it wasn't fatal, but she's still laid up in a hospital, unconscious.
That's despicable! What sort of coward would attack the poor woman from behind?
I suppose you would have finished who it was off with a sort of takedown, wouldn't you?
That is neither here nor there, Mr. Naruhodo.
Brace yourself, Yonosuke. You make it hurt now. Anyway, after something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. He barely had time for a cup of tea after the incident took place, to be honest.
So, there must have been something left at the scene that led you directly to the culprit. Or perhaps a reliable witness who recognized the person in question.
Let me stop you right there. You're wasting your time on this one.
Sorry.
There's nothing you can do. There's no way to help the bloke now.
Why but not?
Simple. The prosecutors that will be assigned to the trial tomorrow is Lord Baron von Zeeks. Sorry, Baroque von Zeeks. No. Sounds like you've heard of him then.
Oh yes, we are very familiar with Lord Von Zeeks. Believed to be the harbinger of death himself. Lord Baroque Von Zeeks, who we faced in court only yesterday. Mr. McGilder told us about him before the trial, did he?
When Von Zeek stands for prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. And in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned.
This Reaper of the Bailey, they say. I suppose he's earned that because every defendant he advocates against is found guilty. Is that it? Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector, that in yesterday's trial against Lord Von Zeeks, Mr. Naruhodo secured a verdict of not guilty.
And what of it?
Oh, well, I think that means that even against the Reaper of the Bailey, it's not impossible to save the defendant.
No, you really don't have a clue, do you?
What do you mean?
Did he just... Did he just put fish and chips into his coat pocket? Nah. Dude, you pocket chips. No. No.
What happened to that bloke in the end, eh? He's dead.
Ah.
Magnus McGilder came a cropper on that omnibus when it went up in flames.
Came a cropper. Came a cropper. That is the first time I've ever heard that expression. That is exceptionally British.
So you can't rightly say you saved the defendant.
What are you saying?
Look, if Von Zeeks could get the dirt to stick on everyone, he'd be a miracle worker. But that's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles, he works magic. Black magic. I'd have a good long think about that if I were you.
Are we really supposed to believe that?
I love his eating animation, dude. Like the way his lip goes. It's so good.
Right, well, I failed you in as requested, and I'm very nearly out of chips. I'll be headed back to the crime scene now. I still carried out a few investigations there.
It was Briar Road, you said, didn't you? Where the incident took place.
That's correct, ma'am. Now, if you head over to the holding cells, you can meet the criminal himself.
You've branded him a criminal already.
He's as good as. Checking like a leaf in his cell he is. They'll give you a chuckle at the limit. He's inmate 53. Speak to the jailer and I'll show you the way.
Inmate 53. Thank you.
I still really like this room sound.
So there's no helping anyone against the Reaper of the Bailey, they say. Is something troubling you, Mr. Naruhodo? To tell the truth, when I recall the trial yesterday, I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing the Reaper in court again is... Well, if you think it's too much for you, there's no shame in turning the case down. That takes courage, too. But if the man they've arrested is innocent, you could well imagine he'd be shaking like a leaf in his cell.
And I, for one, wouldn't find the sight of that funny.
So,
if I'm honest, I'm still reeling from the shock of yesterday's events myself. I'm really not sure if I'll be able to help this man, whoever he is. But I'd like to try. So I think I'm going to make some inquiries. Will you help? Did you really think you had to ask? After all, I am your judicial assistant. Thank you. So then, shall we? Yes! Let's go! God, she's so precious! Hell yeah. Let's go. Let's see. I suppose we ought to visit the prison first. That would be the most logical thing, right? Talk to the guy first to get his take and then check out the crime scene to see if it corroborates. So, these are British prison cells.
Oh, they're ghastly. It feels just like a dungeon.
Yes. Having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls.
Oh, don't, Mr. Naruhodo. You're making it seem worse.
Apparently, our client is in this cell here. But it's so dark at the back there, I can't make him out. Wonder what he's like.
Inmate 53, your legal representation is here to see you. Stop hiding at the back of the cell and show your face at once.
Am I a cat as yet with no name? Calling me by a number. It's utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer. Mr. Naruhodo, what? What do you think is going on here?
I have no idea. But I wasn't just hearing things, was I? That tired complaints was in Japanese.
Excuse me, but who...
Shh, quiet! They're all around. Hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening. Even now. I can sense it.
Right. So, could I ask you...
There you are. You've come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost.
A ghost?
Her face.
We mean you no harm, prisoner-san. Are you... Japanese by any chance?
This is...
Beyond my wildest dreams!
Is he a weeb? Forgive me for that outburst before. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. We were just a little surprised, that's all.
Imagine it! It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown. And here I am in a frightful fix in a foreign land.
So hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damp, dark hellhole was a...
most monumentally moving moment!
Could have guessed that this new client Lord Stronghart assigned to us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese. What compassion my fellow countrymen show! Dispatched a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student.
Noble, nurturing, never failing, Nippon!
Dude, this guy's like the Ginyu squad.
A first-class lawyer? Oh dear, I think there's been some bit of a misunderstanding here. I wonder, would you be so kind as to tell us what happened? Why you've been detained as a suspect, for example? Yes, I can. I will.
Shut! Stay sullen and silent!
I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy. Yes, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be.
Thank you for your cooperation. I'm a lawyer, as you said. My name is Yunosuke Naruhodo.
And I am Naruhodo-san's judicial assistant, Susaru Mikotoba.
I am a visiting student, sent here by government.
Notoriously named Natsume.
Soseki Natsume. Present. Soseki Natsume's son. What an unusual name. Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet, you see. A writer of haiku. It's something of a nom de plume.
A nom de plume? You mean an alias? That's right, Naruhodo-san.
No. Don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that.
A haiku? That really reminds me of home. Did I hear you say that you were a visiting student, sent over here by the government?
Yes, that's right. A year ago I was told to go and study English. First I had to suffer that misery, and now this! Oh, it's beyond the pale!
Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here?
No, I mean, I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. But just because the government tells you to do something, does it mean you can do it? No!
What do you mean?
If they told me to study English literature, that I could have understood. That's my field. No, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I see. Only the other day I was told to send a report about my first year here. I attended a blank piece of paper. Wise words on whitewash.
You must be a man of great standing.
Yes, I'm so often told.
I often like to be told, it seems.
He looks very tired, doesn't he?
Could you perhaps tell us why you've been arrested, Soseki-san?
I didn't do it! I didn't commit that atrocious murder!
Murder?
Oh, no, it's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes.
Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker?
I didn't see anyone.
What?
If I'd seen the person who did it, do you think I'd be locked up in here?
Oh dear. It seems this case is becoming rather complicated.
Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? The curse of London. It's incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient.
So Soseki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker. It's vital that we find out more about the case.
It was an accursed evening. Just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. I'd been to the bookshop to buy some books, and I was on my way back to my accursed lodgings.
Sure, the bookshop wasn't accursed too.
As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman, wearing a green overcoat she was. And just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed under the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet.
How terrible!
I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard.
Slight exaggeration there, perhaps.
I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran. I ran as fast as my leg would carry me back to my cursed lodgings.
That's not good.
They'll say it was shameful, I know, to run away like that.
Tell me, Soseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours?
Don't be ridiculous! You think I know any of these fair-haired English? No young woman at that. I'm diffident, shy, timid. Sure, I can't talk to people.
I see. A young woman, unknown to Soseki-san. Now, at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anybody pass you?
Regrettably. Not for myself and the woman. I didn't see a soul.
No one? Oh, right. So the victim was unknown to you, and there was nobody else on the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it?
What conundrum?
What do you mean, Susato-san? What's the conundrum? Well, if what Soseki-san has just told us is true, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim, and there was no one else at the scene. Then he apparently fled without having been seen.
I did.
But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit.
Ah!
You!
What did you just say?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. Oops. Perhaps I thought that a little loudly. Actually, that's not what was troubling me. What I was thinking was, how did Sasaki-san actually come to be arrested? Sorry. He didn't touch the victim, and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So, how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place? Oh, yes, she's right.
It was him. That accursed great detective. He led the police to me. Of all the bad luck.
Accursed great detective. Could it be?
I shall never forget the man's name as long as I live. With his haughty laugh and his self-proclaimed greatness. Brash, big-headed busybody, begone! May you be cursed until the end of your days, Hairlock Sholmes.
I knew it. Mr. Sholmes.
Wow. I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips. That's for sure.
It was the morning after that nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a sliver of hard cheese when some men suddenly bursted through the door. They started shouting at me. This is the police. Put that weapon down. Yes, it was a thin sliver, and yes, it was hard, but I wasn't eating a weapon. Disgusting dietary discrimination devils.
You clearly had a trying morning yesterday.
And there he was, in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That Hairlock Sholmes.
It's actually Herlock Sholmes. He's English.
I've since found out that he's a famous name in detection.
Yes, the great detective is really very well known.
His overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts, apparently. He thinks I'm the knife-wielding madman.
Me! This weak, stooped kitten of a man.
I wonder what great deduction process led him to this conclusion this time.
Do you mean to say that Mr. Shum's deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be really most unreasonable.
Well, the thing is, I was going into a panic when they barged their way in.
Of course you were. That's only natural.
I was terrified and trembling. They kept throwing question after question at me, in impossible English. Fiendish, foreign, flim-bammery!
Well, we are in England. You can't really blame them for questioning you in English.
Good point. Good point. But my mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, yes I do, and I'm fine. The next thing I knew, I was in manacles. Before I knew it, I was thrown in here.
Oh dear. I'm afraid that's hardly surprising.
It's not fine now.
Sorry, just taking a sip of water. Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Oh, you can just call me Naruhodo. And when we're speaking English, a simple Mr. is more than enough.
Oh, yes, all right, yes. They've really got to me. This country is poisoning my mind. But, please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you?
Well,
Why? Why? Why is it so hard to say yes to me?
well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself, on a study tour.
A student?
I have defended a case in the Old Bailey. Only the one, though. But at this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what justice in this country even means. Oh, Naruhodo-san. I'm not even the foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm a sort of locum lawyer, I suppose.
But that armband, that's the mark of defense lawyer from our great empire.
It's a keepsake from the man who should have been here. He was my best friend.
A keepsake. exactly what they're saying about me.
Oh, who do you mean?
The lawyers, all the British defense lawyers, they won't defend me.
Goodness! Why do you say that?
For the same reason as you noted before. When it happened, there was only the victim and myself around, and I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit.
It must be very hard for you, Soseki-san.
And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. Just a foreign nobody to them. Someone not to be trusted. I heard them openly laughing about me before. In my earshot. Without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said. And, of course, the foreigner didn't. They even had the gall to say, the man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway.
That's awful.
They're wrong. I've studied more English than half the policemen out there on the streets. Traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's country and its great history. But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So, at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through.
Soseki-san, it's just that... Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can, for the time being.
What do you mean?
We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we can find some clues, it will give us a much better chance, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. Yes. Thank you. I'll be here, all alone, waiting for you, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
We should be going then, Naruhodo-san. We have a case to prepare for.
Wonder if there's... I see. Alright, I'm mildly curious. Yes! Yes! The symbol of one of our great empire's first-rate lawyers.
Which means, of course, you'll stand by my side. You'll defend me. Oh, no, sorry. That wasn't why I was showing it to you.
Then why else would you show me that?
Oops. In hindsight, that probably wasn't the best idea.
Alright. To Briar Road we go. I suppose I should be giving Soseki like a Japanese accent. The only trouble is that, like, I can't think of what that is. Like, I mean, I've spoken, like, I went to Japan in 2018 and I did speak with people and they did speak English to me, but like thinking offhand of like what Japanese accented English sounds like, nothing like comes to mind properly. And that dude's like bushy mustache and all that, and like his whole appearance, I didn't think he was Japanese. Strand Street. Ooh, a snowman. So this is where it happened. Briar Road.
Ah! Look, Mr. Naruhodo! Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak.
That is their job, you know.
But, Mr. Naruhodo, to see one with my own eyes. They're often depicted in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, but I never dreamt I'd become to this close. To a real Bobby's helmet.
What?
The helmet. Of course. I have to try one on one day.
Well, I hope your hatty dream comes true. What's the Japanese delegation doing here?
Oh, Inspector Gregson.
The This isn't on the tourist trail, it's fun, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware.
Yes, of course. We're here to investigate.
So you've been to the holding cells then? What do you make of the criminal?
He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect.
We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Well, do what you will. Doesn't bother me. The bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens. And the verdict's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
Stone cold air.
Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone cold air. That makes it worse somehow.
I wonder if he'll actually let us investigate or not. Maybe we should speak to him first. But I really want to look at the snowman.
What a delightful snowman.
I didn't realize the English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. Looks a little creepy though.
Oh, it has a scarf. Look.
You need one. If you out in this freezing cold air all the time, I wish I had one.
I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment too. We certainly can't afford a scarf.
Surely the snowman here wouldn't miss his.
But the person who made the snowman certainly would.
Yes, I know. You're right. Anyway, even if I bought it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It's covered in snow. Wait a minute. Oh, look, a bicycle. Oh, it's actually an investigable item.
Oh, a British bicycle. Look. Although the wheel is so mishappen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be real anymore.
Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling.
It seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change women's dresses to allow them to ride as well.
The bicycle fan won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that. I'm gonna send that screenshot to my friend who rides a road bike.
Goodness, do you dislike bicycles?
No, not at all. I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly. Just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. If you'd ever tried walking on stilts and fallen into a river, I know you'd agree with me.
We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around.
God, I hope someone's done fan art of that. That sounds cute.
Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place.
It's the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, man.
Oh, and you know I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet.
It does make him look the part, seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in speedy protecting the city.
Yes, doesn't it look wonderful?
Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you.
Really?
First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around and rouses all the labourers on his beat so they can get off to work.
What? He wakes people up?
Yep. Raps on their windows with a long pole. Get myself going back a bit.
I had no idea.
The Bobby works for the people of the town, which is another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance.
I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way. Let me see. 20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama.
Hold on, I want to see this. Tokyo to Yokohama. Maps. That's from Tokyo to... How can I there we go. Hold on, let me pull this up for you. So, by train, that's an hour and 4 minutes. And, according to the walking, that's That's 6 hours worth of walking. So yeah, that's a day's work right there. That's a good amount of time. Kawasaki. And this is just from like the second finger. That is a lot of walking. Bet you they get in good shape then, huh? On foot. That's definitely taking things a step too far. Oh, when it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps. Oh my. And I suppose in between all those duties, Bobby's expected to investigate cases as well. And chase after criminals trying to evade the law. I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly, or alongside. But yes, they're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit. I'd always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruto. Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. Happened at around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. Is it right that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in hospital. I never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, I won't be able to find out much about her at all. I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course. Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's the odd policy to give lawyers, defendants, suspects the odd bits of information to go on. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still. Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. So who did it, do you think? Not much of a head scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure. How? Because, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. It what? We have 2 very reliable witnesses in this. It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them. They're witnesses now. Who are these witnesses, Inspector? A fellow and his wife. The man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper in Scotland Yard. A policeman. That might change things. And this policeman just happened to be there the exact moment the woman was attacked. Nothing peculiar about that, man. Part and parcel of being a Bobby, catching them banging and acting and all that. Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions? Play my guest. You can ask him what you like. In court tomorrow. Oh, no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to. That's not bad. But no intention of letting us meet the man before him, it seems. A policeman, as your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this can make our job very difficult indeed. Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. Oh, yes. One more thing, Inspector. What? The person who led you to the suspect. I hear that was Mr. Herlock Sholmes. What are you bringing him up for? Was it something I said? The color I was drained from his cheeks. That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. You gonna defend him or not? Well, makes no difference to me. Well, I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole. Because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper the Bailey, you mean? There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It was all a bit strange, though. Sorry.
The Reaper. He hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now.
Yes, something to that effect.
And the only people he usually bothers with are the real scum. The master criminals. The violent ones.
Master criminals? The violent ones?
That's right. He handpicks his victims. Only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins.
But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely.
That's just my point, sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it did kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase.
Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it?
No. There's got to be more to it. For some reason he's taking an interest.
Really? What sort of reason, Inspector?
You think I can tell what's going on inside the head of that Lord of Darkness? You're not asking yourself at tomorrow's trial.
Are we really going to have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as you put it.
Who did you hear that name from?
Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. I'm sure it was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions.
Fiddle faddle. The man's an amateur. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing him. Getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime, wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish. Before you know it, he aims to solve the case.
Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he? He is a great hop to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he?
Gibble gabble.
Oh,
Ever seen this before?
oh, yes, that's Rant's magazine. A wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes appears.
Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories. And the so-called Great Detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Sherlock Sholmes tale at all.
Well, I suppose there is an element of that.
We work our socks off, every one of us. We'll be frumped by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals.
That can't really be true. Can it, Inspector?
Clearly, the Great Detective and police have a complex relationship. Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective. Sorry, tongue-tied there.
Mr. Naohoro, can I make a suggestion?
Oh,
Yes, what is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this.
by him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, exactly.
Look at those shining eyes. Can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all this, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply myself that desire to meet Mr. Sholmes again.
The trouble is, we have no idea the man's address here. So how?
It's Baker Street.
How do you know that?
It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street. The most famous address in the world. Is that the right one?
I'm trying to remember if that's also the same. Because they do, like, tweak these things around. Yeah, 221B Baker Street. Okay, so they didn't change that. Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We better try to find our way there before Susato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable.
Ta-da! I'll summon a carriage.
So we'll
We're to have a reunion already. With the great detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. I wonder if we'll get to do like the great deduction plus like fixing Sherlock Holmes' errors in court, or we'll do that like during the investigation or something. Patrick Bain knows me what the ends in the third. Yes, it's a very wide open space, isn't it? True. Can't say we're on an attack we've been hiding. Oi! What are you foreigners doing here? Oh, we just investigating the scene now. Conspiring with that mustache fella from Japan, are you? Conspiring? Come here to destroy evidence, have you? Get out of here before I give you a knighting. Go on. He shoot us away like rocks. Yes. We should give him a wide berth, I think. What a disappointing experience. Wait, I can investigate this guy? Run the officer in the yard. Oh, well. A little overcautious. There's nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern. Twice I don't know. Twice I found myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on. Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. It does you no favors at all. Ugh. I doubt that there's anything wrong inside about this character, right? Besides just, yeah, Susato's really excited about it. Oh, she wants to ride one. I'm being arrested or whatever. It's the only way. Help me find a good stone. No, I wasn't serious. She is a little bit Maya-like in that way, isn't she? Oh, I can investigate the road. There are piles of snow on the pavement here and there, but the road itself is covered in carriage tracks. It seems carriage often travel down Briar Road. It soon disperses all the snow. I slipped over when I was walking up the pavement earlier. It seems I would be far safer to walk on the road instead. Oh, but you're rather small, Mr. Naruto, and dressed all in black. I worry coachman might not see you to be flattened by horses. Well, thank you for the rather small concern. It's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? She has a long and interesting history. Time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place, crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it's in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here. We must find some cheap lodging ourselves as soon as possible. Yes, you're right. Cheap, but ideally with reasonable level floors. Oh, ooh, what's this? The windows of that windows? Not the hole in the fence? Are you sure they're windows? Yes, but they're all filled in with bricks. Oh, you're right. I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment. There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though. Oh dear. Anything stuff this very foreign. There's so much bit to learn about this place. Yeah, who bricks up perfectly good windows? In the winter, no less. Oh. Look, we can see something. Clouds look so big and heavy in the sky, don't they? But with the dense fog as well, everything looks hazy. No, it is known as foggy London now. I just make out some sort of spire from the fog. Looks like it's still being built, though. Aha! Yes! That must be the Crystal Tower, being built for the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. Apparently it's going to be very striking, glazed on all sides, and the symbolic centerpiece of the exhibit. It's to be the largest... it's to be the largest exposition in history, is it? Can't even begin to imagine it. Here I was thinking they're building the Tower of London. Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah. Alright, let's go meet up with Mr. Sholmes, shall we?
Thank you very much.
It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
Thanks again.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed you.
This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
I half expected a pot to come flying out the window or something. Or loud violining to be heard. But I guess I'll settle for a knife through some letters. And a shoe. Multiple shoes. Look at this. Shoe. Shoe. So, this is where the great detective makes his living. Feels so real to be here somehow. Is it as described in the stories, Miss Susato? Susato-san? Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room. Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes. I read the stories, so it's hard to get quite excited about what she's used to be. The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears in the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it! The romanticism! Can you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, I suppose I can, yes. So, if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please don't mind me. She obsessed. Well, it looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. Excuse me? Is anybody home? Oh, do we have a visitor? Hello? Is it a big new case for Mr. Sholmes? Hello. Wait. Aren't you... Oh! How rude of me. I'll go make some tea at once. I'm sure it's the same girl. Mr. Sato, did you see the girl who was just here? Oh, yes. Isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case. The King of Bavaria? King Wilhelm Gottfried Sigismund von Arnstein, of course. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventure of Herlock Sholmes for a moment and look over there. The tea's brewed. I have a freshly baked cake as well. Ah! It's you! I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too. There you are. Taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run on my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Have a good day to you, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McYoda's trial in the defendant's antechamber. I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Poor you, having to get straight to work when you only just arrived in London. Oh, yes, it was challenging. Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know? Oh, thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color? Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hey, it's a winner! Ah, I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see? You must be exhausted after your long voyage here. You have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, you're to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you? Hurley? Mr. Sholmes to you, surely. Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see? Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday at the trial. Only briefly, I thought. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things, do you think? And perhaps more to the point,
Why is she here in Mr. Sherlock's Sholmes' suite? Oh, silly me. I haven't introduced myself, have I? It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Irish Wilson. I live here together with Ellie. Ah, Iris, is it? What a lovely name. What? What's the matter? No, wait, this can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson? What's the matter with Susato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? Yes, that's right. And what are your names? Oh, I'm Yunosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan. Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Bruno. Got it. Susie and Bruno. There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her. I don't know where to start. Yes, so do I.
Yeah, we're meeting all the characters today. So is she the author, or I don't know? Should I examine things first? Because there's quite a bit to examine, isn't there? Oh, look, there's the violin. And oh, there's a pipe in the chemistry set. Ah, this must be her side. So there's the typewriter. So she writes some science stuff. Invention. We got a nice little space here. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey. Yes, that's right. You have been so helpful. Thank you so much. Oh, no, not at all. I'm so sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming. Though, at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. Like this? Oops. Thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you? Oh yes, that awful witness, Gina Lestrade. Oh, Jeannie! Yes, she's a professional pickpocket. So we found out. It's very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that. Are you referring to that trial-disrupting gun-like contraption? Exactly. So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism with my inventions. This girl is dangerous. Anyway, I brought Ginny back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician. Sorry, your technician. Hurley, of course, silly. Hurley? Yes, Herlock. Herlock Sholmes. We live here together. I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter. Daughter? Not likely. What? I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I? Well, then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes? Well, I expect you found out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate. Your roommates? I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at last this year. Well, what of your mother and father? Oh, they're not around. Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there. Oh, yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course, of course. Go ahead, Susie. I am a very great fan of the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, and... Oh, you have a copy of Rice Magazine! Yes! I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world. My stories?
That's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see. And he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think?
Goodness!
Last night, he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came.
So you are the author?
Yes. I'll let you know a secret if you like. Could have called this latest adventure The Speckled Band. The Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar. Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories here and there. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble. Oh, that was Mr. Shum's first thought as well, actually. Yes. And of course I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling. I think, don't you?
So, do you mean to say, are the stories about Mr. Shum's that are published in Rats magazine all written by me?
Yes! Oh, my wonderful and very modern typewriter.
But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson.
This other sounds getting more and more worked up.
Ah, yes.
That's me! I mean, my name really is Wilson.
But what about the doctor of medicine part?
That's all true, too. I am a doctor of medicine. No, at 10 years old. At 10 years old.
Well, that's quite incredible. But Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman.
Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly, for the stories to be more compelling.
Oh.
Well, sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow.
I suppose it does, yes.
Poor Susato-san. She looks like her whole world has just fallen apart.
About before.
Yes? Yes, what's on your mind, Runo? Tell me.
How did you know?
That I was a lawyer, and we just arrived in London, I mean.
Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that?
Oh, that's what you mean.
Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail.
Of course, I'd be delighted. Although, there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin. Iris Wilson is proud to present her Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Oh, we're doing it again. First of all, I knew already that you were a lawyer, Runo. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber. But you also said that we'd only just arrived in London. How did you know that? I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket.
Oh.
So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted the case against that particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs. Republic Bailey. Oh, I walked right into that one, didn't I? Then I noticed a red ink stain on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with a suspect, weren't you? Earlier today. Ah. They used those stamps to keep a close eye on coming to go, and Jesse.
Ah, I didn't realize.
And a red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign nations. So, that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilden, the two of you had already caused to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. I don't know, even if you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face. So I concluded the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case. I see.
But how could you have known that the trial is tomorrow?
Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. A Japanese man? Clearly that must have been Mr. Natsume.
Now, Bruno has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway. It's clear to me that you both come from Japan yourselves. So I put 2 and 2 together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. There was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley is always stabbiest note of the night, you know. He is silly. And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct? They were spot on. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. You even managed to ascertain something with Mr. Shom's delivery. Oh, well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really very good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please? Oh, this is good shit right here. Like, oops, whoa. So, yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man. He was saying. Yes. Hurley had just arrived back in London after a sea voyage, but the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene. The great detective is a popular man, it seems. Apparently, a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene. A short, shifty-looking, stooped man. Mr. Natsume, beyond any doubt. So Seki-san said they didn't see anybody else on the street at all. But it seems there were witnesses after all. Hurley used his great deductive powers to determine the man's address. There was a lodging room very, very nearby. He went directly there with the police. And what did they find? A short, shifty-looking, stooped man, shivering in fear. Mr. Shum's great deduction certainly hit the mark that time. Of course it did. He's a great detective. Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it? We have no time to investigate properly. Hurley says that London is rife with crime. Oh, Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it apparently. Oh dear, I didn't realize the situation was so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. That's terrible. I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system. I suppose it is. But in that case, I don't hold up much hope for so such a time. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative. Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun. Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well. Well, I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene. Of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, Mr. Natsume? Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there? Yes, we know Inspector Gregson. Ah, goody. In that case, give Gregsy this for me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure I'll tell you what you want to know. What is this? A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems. There's the postcard. It reads, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem." Gosh, this will make the inspector help us, will it? Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try.
Good luck, then. Want to return to writing my manuscript? It's back on band. I'll be making more special blends of tea, so come back again soon.
We'd be delighted.
Thank you so much, Iris. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, it's back to the scene of the crime. So, somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence or metal stop me out at all. We headed back to the scene with Iris' curious notes, one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. Well, I feel a little bit bad that I didn't examine Sherlock's house at all. Because there certainly could have been more there. But that's okay. We'll probably get back there eventually. No. Before we continue with this, and we are going to continue, mind you, I'm not ending this stream early like I did yesterday. I am out of water. And I prefer not to be out of water during Ace Attorney games because it is a lot of reading, as you all are very aware. So give me a hot second to go refresh my liquids, and then I shall return. So 2 seconds. I don't have anything like I showed you last time where I had like a video. At least I don't think I do. Anyway. What's this one? That one's just Ryza and a Vocaloid being cute. Not quite what I want. What is this one? Okay, that's only 18 seconds, so that one won't work. Good morning, mother. Good morning, motherfucker! That's just Fubuki. That's not going to work either. I don't think I have a video for you, sadly. At least not one that will last long enough. Here we go. I'll do this. Give me a hot second here. I'm going to hope that this doesn't get claimed or anything of the like there. But be right back. Perfect timing. I have returned. Get that out of the way here. Okay, I am back. So let us. Where's my controller? Let us continue. Looks as though the police are still here, carrying on with their investigation. Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible. Yes. And let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at that silver tip Iris gave us for him. Darn, they're still here. Wait a minute. Sucks. Sucks. Actually, I kind of want to, before we give it to him, I want to see what they have to say about this. Iris's little handwriting's adorable, isn't it? Every gentleman in black, whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem. Yes, the handwriting might be adorable, but the message is ominous. There's no room for sentiment there. I'm sure it's simply the way you're interpreting it, Mr. Naruhodo.
Anyway, I do hope the inspector will tell us what we need to know when he reads it. You don't think we'll just make a bunch of piping hot chips until steam comes out of his ears, do you? It wouldn't be an entirely terrible outcome. Look at the cute little heart. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Cute. Victoria Day Great 1864. Is that what that date is? This is a 5-shilling piece, isn't it? I believe it's called a crown. Yes. And you could train a Scotland Yard detective to do whatever you want with just a single one. This must be the most powerful 10-year-old in the world. How much is 5 shillings, by the way? What's it really worth? Well, it's probably enough to buy all the chips the inspector could possibly eat in the whole month. That's crazy. I actually have no idea, like, British stuff. Like, I went to London in 8th grade on a trip that, like, we saved up for like 3 years or so. So, I mean, I remember pences and pounds, but I don't think I ever had anything larger on me than that. Fire Road, Calabash. Near Scum. Oh, right, we have to present this one. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? Sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts, that's for sure. We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson. What? For me? From a ladyship? A ladyship? Give that here at once. I'll hand it over. That's for me. Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? What was that coin exactly? It's a crown, obviously. It's a lot more than that. It's, well, it's an appearance fee, that's what it is. An appearance fee? Oh, I see. You mean... That's right. Well, the Adventures of Herlock shows. The ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me. Every time. Yes. Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly. Of course. But using my name and my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes. But still. I am sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you. Never you mind that. So, what do you want to know then, eh? Sorry. Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. Of course, that won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know? Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Little knife-wielding mustache Japanese fellow. He lives in a right old hovel. Just over there. Look! Oh, of course he lives there. On the first floor of that house in the corner, where that wreck of a bicycle is propped up. Sorry, I thought we were going to say that for a second. That is nearby indeed. If I remember rightly, the landlord is a Mr. John Garrett. Alright, well. If you see her again, make sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear? I mean it. You tell her that Gregson says his very best wishes. Don't worry, Inspector. I will. Goodbye for now. And long live her ladyship. Man, the way to an inspector's heart is through his chips, it seems. Well, at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left. Yes. So then, shall we go and see what we can find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings? Definitely. I quite like this, actually. Like, if you compare this to the other Ace Attorney games, like, the fact that, like, in the other Ace Attorney games, right, like, you can talk to Maya and say, what should we do, right? And then she'll try to hint at things to some extent. But, I like this more. Like, you get Susato's input right away here. And then there's the little, you know, blurb and everything on the side. It's really good. This is, like, a really, really nice upgrade, I think, to the original Ace Attorney games. Not to mention, like, the 3D and the animation and everything else, like, just overall, like, these games are they're really top notch, I feel. May I help you? Ah, yes. Would this be the residence of, Mr. John Garrett? Indeed it would, sir. And who may I say is calling? My name is Yunosuke Naruhodo. Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Suseki Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here. We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client. One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Garrett. Did you see that, Mr. Suseki? That was a real-life English maid. I know. As I understand it, anyone... sorry. I know. As I understand, anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better. It certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it? We need only to meet a butler, and the experience will be complete. Well, I'm not sure if I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment. Thank you for waiting. Mr. Garrett will see you now. This way. Whoa. The man has a moon head. That is very impressive. What's this? Look at that enormous screen. Must have been put there deliberately, surely. Yes, it certainly seems like someone's trying to hide something from you. What could be behind it, I wonder? I'll give a very quick look. Just a little peek. Maybe that's not. Let's see something. I think the maid is going to head us off with a cup of tea. So I can't investigate that yet. Does everything do this? Look, what a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on that gleaming silver cake stand. Lined up? It's more like someone has half demolished them to me. Afternoon tea is a time of indulgence, you know? Quite the English way. It is Mr. Garrett's custom to take 2 cakes with his tea. Oh, that sounds delightful. Oh, wait a minute though. There are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand. Well, naturally! It would never do to waste the leftovers. So whatever Mr. Garrett doesn't need, I say to myself, Joan, you shall have to tidy up. How magnanimous of you. Well, we now know why her cheeks jiggle so much. What is this? Busted vases? Look at this crockery on display here. Rather unusual, isn't it? Oh my! A genuine London dresser! Isn't it delightful? Although the shelves seem to be broken, and the crockery is... Oh dear, it's in pieces! Oh, it really is. The word cracked wouldn't do that chinaware justice. I wonder... Perhaps the cannon was fired at it. Yes, probably something like that. But let's not delve too deeply here. Can I direct everyone's attention to the cannon being used as a laundry hook? And just, you know, to the fact that there's a cannon in this room, as well as shells and things. It's a full-size cannon. What's it doing in here? Oh my, it's real! Thought it might be a replica. That old thing. Bah, it's nothing. A little more than a toy. Sorry. The army was selling it off when I retired. So I decided to put a new hole. Never know when the enemy might attack next. Jolly, you sort of forget about the house. That man is stirring his tea with a freaking tobacco pipe. Pro tip, don't do that. Like, do not. You'll ruin the pipe. Not to mention the tea. Really, it isn't overflowing.
Be prepared, as I always say. Oh, this twisted war is going to throw at you next, boy.
Do you think there may be trouble brewing, Mr. Gerda?
Always is. Take Joan here. Never fails. Have a clean apron in reserve. Guys know the bell, you see. They drive very well on the cannon there, Joan tells me. I'll try to prove my point, I do.
Just trying that. No wonder the huge cannon looks like it's hanging its head in shame. That uniform looks fairly ancient, doesn't it? It's clearly been well looked after, though.
That old thing? Now it's better than rags for me.
Oh.
Wore that ceremony garb in my retirement bash, you know. I'm not one for dwelling on the past. Me. Would have gladly thrown it out. But you know how it is. Anyway, it doesn't hurt to have the odd piece of memorabilia lying around, does it?
Oh, I see. Perhaps we should leave the past in the past. Oh no, the man has cannon shells. Oh, those mortar shells. They're enormous. Oh, I hadn't noticed. What are they doing here?
Ah, those old things. What little rounds I accidentally fired into the barracks during training, you know? The colourful regiment folklore, then.
You mean, you deliberately hunted out the spent shells?
Well, what to say? Deliberately, exactly. They're only scrap iron up below. Usually just thrown away, I believe. But you never know when things might come in useful, do you?
Useful for what, exactly?
Yes, well... Joan here did manage to knock one of the bally things on my foot the other day while she was dusting.
Oh, no.
I didn't shed a tear since 1969 before then.
Maybe reconsider throwing them away. There's a line. That looks like a Medal of Honor. And showcase on a very grand banner. Yes, display with some pride, I would say. Although it bothers me that it's not straight.
What? That whole thing? Sorry. I should be glad to see the back of it. With the general returning his grave, I disposed of it. The wall's the best place for it. Here's the bally thing out of my way.
So it's just been polished to shine by accident, I suppose. There appears to be an inscription on the medal itself. Look. Let me see. It says, for distinguished participation. Sounds like the kind of honors even I could be in line for.
Well, one doesn't like to blow one own's trumpet. I was given that for my time in the army. Can't measure an officer by the number of medals to his name, of course. Common knowledge of military symbols.
Oh, that's a very nice picture of him that he has on his wall. That portrait of Mr. Gerda was glaring at me, I swear. Have you noticed that all the little frames containing photographic prints of Mr. Gerda as well? Yes, there seems to be a statue of a lion on the piece as well.
Ah, yes. Seemed to have come back from the local pawnbroker with that little trinket.
Seemed to come back? What do you mean?
The chap who runs the place is a bally wizard. Went in to sell him something and came out with that thing. Point of fact, now I think about it, but I often find myself leaving the place with something I don't need.
The lion ornament certainly does seem surplus to requirements. It's almost like he's pulling punches. Or it throws right at him. Okay, I think that's mostly it. Oop. I notice you have a pile of books here, Mr. Gerda. Do you enjoy reading?
Never experienced a London winter, boy. The nights are long. No better way to pass the time than in front of the fire with a jolly good book.
Oh, there's a copy of Rance magazine here, I see. No doubt Mr. Gerda enjoys the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, too. The great detective has a great many followers, I would say. Okay. I think the only thing left is the two of these people.
Good day to you, John Caradeb. I saw this.
Nice to meet you, sir. This is Yunosuke Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer.
Do excuse me not getting up. Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of Maiwan, don't you know? And a medal for my pains, I had to withdraw from service. Hand over the reins to the upper governments.
So he's a retired soldier.
Hell of a job getting up and down the stairs now, I can tell you. Don't go out much as you can imagine.
Yes, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? There's plenty on the top of the stairs. You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo. Do you think so? Well, Mr. Gerda, no doubt you were very courageous to earn your second medal.
Oh, it was nothing. The medal was just a photo all, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joe? It's good people see it properly. Joe, fetch the... No! Dash it all, woman, be careful!
Oh, dear me. I did beg your pardon, sir.
You jolly nearly took the skin off my hands.
I shall be more careful, sir.
So anyway, there you have it. The quiet life now.
Yes, I see.
Now then, you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs, is that right?
Yes, would be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us.
Only too pleased, naturally. Especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blight. Forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. The case is very much in the public eye, as it were.
Oh, is it?
Even in some famous detective book. Oh, it's old house, would you believe?
Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. That was my cup of tea on that detective business.
Oh, but you have a copy of Brandt's magazine here, so...
No. Anyway.
Oh, sorry, the maid is talking now. Anyway, the chap's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak. So he's in Soseki-san's room.
It's a bally nuisance is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. I don't like all this fuss. Jolly unsettling.
About Mr. Natsume then, Mr. Gerda, please do tell us.
Yes. Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for a week.
Oh, just 1 week. So you moved in very recently then?
I have 2 lodges most of the time. One on the ground floor and one just below us. The first floor room became available a week ago. Dash it all, Joan! Do be careful.
Oh, my goodness! Terribly sorry, sir. If you want to know my opinion, I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him.
You keep doing that.
The jiggle physics on the cheeks. Oh, why? He seemed to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. The man had shady written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. I said to myself, Joan, that man is trouble. Sooner or later he's going to do something untoward. I'm fairly wrong about everything. I won't be calling this man as a witness, that's for sure. Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all? Yes, oh, yes indeed there was. She's dying to tell us. Have you noticed anything else about your lodger, Mr. Natsume? I guess the man was shadier than an orchard. Could you elaborate? Well, take the man's room. Absolutely stuffed full of books it is. More than anyone could ever read. And he never lived so much as passed the time of day with another living soul. Haven't seen a single visitor call. Just trots off to that old bookshop every single day. Comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. And the funny little man is up long past the time the rouse now's gone to bed too. Oh, I see. The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night. But I've never known that Japanese folk to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. Ah. Could you clarify? I wonder. What, pray? How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine? Oh! I'd understood that neither the lodgers live on this floor of the house, is that correct?
That's right, yes. They're both below us, on the first floor in the street level.
Then, how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? The precise times they come back for the evening, for example. Even the times they go to bed.
Ow! Good grief, Joe, be more careful.
Goodness, sir, I'm terribly sorry, sir.
Something doesn't add up here. It seems that the incident took place at around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out the window at around that time?
The window.
Yes, we noticed the window over there looks out over the Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement, just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby?
5 o'clock is dinner time in the Gardner household. I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joe?
No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that hour. And with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road.
Oh, I see.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then?
Such as...
Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated.
Well,
Yes. Was there something then?
Well, there's nothing particularly significant, but around that sort of time here, they're out! For the love of God, Joe, watch what you're doing!
Oh, dearie me, what have I done? Awfully sorry, sir.
Do be more careful, woman.
Of course, sir. If I may, Mr. Narrow Hollow. Yes. I have exceedingly good memory. As far as I remember, nothing of any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all.
Oh, really?
Mr. Gary, then. The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been.
As I was saying, it's just a trifling matter, really. Nothing to... Ow! Joan! Dash it all, what is the matter with you, woman?
Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened.
Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal. Joan?
That's right, Mr. Gary. What is the matter with these two? It sounds like something happened in this room while we were in the incident. But what? I wish I knew.
probably something to do with whatever is behind that screen.
Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on?
Why, certainly. Just below us on the first floor.
And Mr. Sholmes is investigating there, even as we speak.
Yes. Told me not his name, has asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key.
Mr. Natsume has engaged Mr. Sholmes' services.
That's a blatant lie.
Would it be alright if we also had to look around? In Mr. Natsume's room, I mean.
See, why not? It's down one flight of stairs.
Who knows if anything could help us with the case. But we have to try. We need all the clues we can lay our hands on, shall we? Yes. And while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us some more.
Huh. So they must have seen something, right? I feel like cracking that maze is going to be rather difficult, though. Oh wow, there. Well, she wasn't. Huh. There wasn't. Sorry. Wetting my whistle as a tour. Well, just look at this place. And smell it. It's so musty in here. I suppose it's the mountain's own books that are responsible for that.
I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life.
No. Me either. It's so dark in here, too.
Is that the window over there?
Well, it was the window, I think. Yes, once upon a time. But for some reason, it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. So this is where Mr. Natsume lives.
By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere. Have you?
No, that's true. But according to what Mr. Garrett told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating. It's probably somewhere back here, I guess. Seems a little bit dangerous to have a candle amongst all this. Not to mention the fact that since the window is closed, you know, just all the suffering. But there's a cat here. Aww. It's so cute. Oh, okay, bye.
Oh my! What an adorable little cat! Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master's away.
I don't know about that. He disappeared into that pile of books as quick as a flash. Tricolor Mike, wasn't it? Do they even have that sort of cat here in Great Britain? Perhaps Mr. Natsume brought the little creature with him from Japan. That's made me feel homesick now.
Already? We've only been in the country for 2 days. Oh, look, it's a beckoning cat from home.
It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Natsume didn't bring that Maneki Neko all the way from Japan with him.
I hardly think you're in a position to comment, Mr. Naruhodo. Are you forgetting the enormous Dharma doll that you've brought in your luggage?
Well, it'd be dangerous traveling abroad. I wanted the lucky charm. I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same. This cat is sure to beckon good luck to him. It's not doing a very good job so far, is it?
You mustn't say such things.
I didn't say a word.
Why are my eyes such a giveaway?
Oh, there's like a lock and key. What is that? Appears to be some sort of meter on the wall here. It's very robust. I wonder what it's for. There's a slot for inserting coins here too.
Ah, I believe that is a gas meter, Mr. Naruhodo.
A gas meter?
Yes, it seems there's a piped gas in this citrus, which consumers pay for by putting coins in the meter.
So if we were to put a coin in the slot,
that would be enough gas to use the lights and the gas fire for the whole night.
so if you're too poor to have a coin, you'll spend the night in the dark and freezing cold.
That's right.
As with a rich man who only carried a crisp white note. London is a scary place. Writings? That desk seems to be wedged into a crevice between mountains of books on either side. I suppose Mr. Natsume would sit there and read while stroking his cat. But surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes. Surely he dreamt of books every night as well.
Yes, he must have done, mustn't he? Oh, what's this? It's a receipt from the second-hand bookshop. Your books.
Oh yes, Mr. Natsume's name is on it. Look, and the date of purchase. 2 days ago at 4:45 p.m. That's the day of the incident.
That's just a short while before he was embroiled in the terrible attack. He must have been on his way back from buying some more books.
That's useful. Could you even call this a window?
I think so. It was a window at one time, after all. Although, all that remains is a frame around some bricks now.
So really, it's just a wall then, isn't it?
But why would anyone deliberately brick it up like that?
I'm afraid I have no idea.
Ah, perhaps Mr. Natsume painted the brick design on in a fit of whimsy.
Alarmingly feasible. Anyway, whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation here makes the place feel very oppressive.
It does. I imagine being cooped up in a room like this would be extremely trying.
Look at all those books stacked up there. They almost reach the ceiling. They're all works of English literature. They all smell so musty. With this volume of books to hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you? No. What a dreamy idea. A bad dream, maybe. Me, at least. Mind you, I don't imagine the book that's at the bottom of the pile now will be read again. So reading is an experience that comes once in a lifetime. Just as the tea ceremony teaches us. I certainly didn't expect the conversation turned out about the tea ceremony philosophy. Look at all these balls of paper on the floor. There are notes scrawled all over them, in English. Looks like the waste paper basket is so full they're just falling out. I think Mr. Natsume must have been deeply immersed in his research, don't you? Or deeply averse to tidying up his mess. I wouldn't like to speculate which is closer to the truth. Ah! Behold! Sholmes has appeared. Hello, my good man. Ah! Look, Mr. Naruhodo! Aha! There he is. Where did he appear from? He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. Hope he won't mind if he discovered. Hello? Mr. Sholmes? Ah, you too. Good day. Now, let me see. Where was it that we met? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, we were together on the SS Burya. Yes, of course, the Burya. And let me see. What happened on that voyage? It was Cosmo Sogi. He died, tragically. But you were a great help to us. Ah, yes, but of course. The case of Mr. Osogi. It was the one with the snake, wasn't it? Oh. Well, you seem to remember something of it at least. What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Sholmes. Yes, what an honor to be remembered vaguely. This is Mr.
Oh, no, my dear madam. Hold your tongue. I pride myself on my superior powers of recollection. Your names are simply recorded in my brain attic.
Miss Naruto.
And Mr. Susato.
Try the other way around, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, I lose the first round.
In truth, I'd hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. But some Scotland Yard has ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I sold them out in no more than 30 minutes.
So they apprehended Sosuke-san in that short amount of time.
I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements.
A little.
It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls and could distend to any extent. I'll do my best to forget useless facts, lest they should elbow up the useful ones. Yes! Those are my own words of inimitable wisdom, you know? From a venture entitled A Study in Scarlet.
There's no need to quote yourself.
I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but fortunately my associate pens them beautifully.
It means I suppose. Mr. Sholmes, we have some extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case you just mentioned.
Goodness, what an earnest expression. My dear madame, I should be only too pleased. This murky room is an apt place to discuss the murky case.
We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Soseki Natsume. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes, with the stabbing of a young woman outside here on Briar Road. Natsume. Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines. But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little?
I'm sorry, Mr. Susato, but I've not the slightest idea what you mean.
Well, was squaring the eyes off any ignorance.
I assure you, not merely feigning ignorance. It appears that the pair of you are under some misapprehension.
Oh, how?
I assure you I have no recollection of accusing your stupid compatriot of the crime.
But that doesn't make sense.
The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following arrest to me, and I quote verbatim. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene.
A man seen fleeing.
There were a number of books scattered on the pavement at the scene. In the book plates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, what did you say? I believe there's a receipt around here somewhere from the establishment in question. You don't think Mr. Natsume is the culprit, then? That I could not tell you. It was aggravating my faculties. That's why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books. I found myself quite lost in bibliophilia. Do not be deceived in believing that I am a man of leisure. No.
Dear.
Ah, tell me. Have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings?
Yes,
Mr. Gerdev, a retired military man.
it was the first time I ever met a soldier from the Great British Institution that is the services.
That's the first time I've ever met a maid from the Great British Institution that is service.
I didn't think it was that funny.
I do apologize. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid.
Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain primer.
So conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to betoken the social standing of those dwelling therein.
Betoken the social standing.
Sorry. Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not, beneath that. In the upper echelons of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family.
How extraordinary.
As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between the middle and lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of first importance.
I had no idea.
It is for precisely that reason that I find great stimulation in this situation upstairs. Specifically, in a retired army veteran, Mr. John Garrett.
Oh,
Affable as he is,
the fellow is hiding something.
whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I was yet unable to ascertain.
Fairly lost on what he needs to say.
This room is thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later.
Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one.
But sooner or later, as I said.
I don't believe that's the issue here. About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes.
Why is there no longer a window?
Do you have any idea?
No window?
Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts. But it's been completely blocked with bricks.
Ah, I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax.
Window tax? What is that? Surely not a tax on windows.
Precisely that.
Oh my goodness!
Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home perhaps, rapidly closed windows up. While the rich opened windows here, there, and everywhere. In an effort to curry favor with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money.
How awful! Unjust! Forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light.
Indeed. Disease was rife, as we were told. So some 40 years ago, or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. But its legacy remains, as you can see. Quality lodgings such as these, for example.
I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps.
Would appear so. I've done a little digging, and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price.
Because the room is so awful, I should think.
Apparently, Mr. Natsume only moved in here about 1 week ago. Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation.
Oh.
Still, there's a little relevance here, a matter not worthy of further attention.
Are you sure? I'm curious.
I imagine that someone died here. That's, and I bet you it's going to be related to a case later on. Well, I believe I've told you all I can now.
Thank you, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law? You remember that, did you? Will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? I'm not sure. Not sure? What grounds? Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. Really? Well then, I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized. And so promptly, too.
The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients, to trust in their innocence?
Yes, trust.
Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he?
My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea.
Oh, but I thought that's why you were here. You come back to investigate.
Yes, that was indeed my initial intention, but there are simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them.
Oh, I see.
Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room, and there are witnesses who swear to have seen the same man commit the crime. That is all I can say. And one more thing.
Oh, what is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us!
I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance in this case, but I'm quite sure that the retired army man who owns this property is hiding something.
Mr. Garrett.
Mr. Sholmes said much before, actually, don't he? Anyway, at present, that really is all that plays in my mind in relation to this case.
Mr. Naruhodo, as yet our investigations have uncovered nothing that could help us establish Mr. Natsume's innocence.
No, you're right.
Perhaps it's time we probe a little deeper than Mr. Garrett's secret.
Just remember, I want to be sure whether the landlord's secret would prove to be of relevance or not. But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo. Busy man indeed. Gone back to his book in the corner of the room.
Has he actually? Oh, he has.
Can I pester him again, or...?
Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes.
Yes, so true. To be or not to be? Which is indeed the question, Mr. Naruhodo.
To be or not to be brushed off? That is the question.
And the answer is all too clear.
Let's leave Mr. Sholmes in peace, shall we?
Okay, I think we're done here. We haven't been to this place in a while. We were just there. I wonder if we need to talk to him, or we need to like make a round back to the prison or something, you know? Ah, you pair again. Tell me, was the detective chap, about his name, so hard at work down there?
Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Ah, yes, rings a vague bell. All that detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid.
Well, Mr. Sholmes is, in his element down there.
Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joe. Now then, why don't you tell me what... Ow! For the umpteenth time, woman! Watch what you're doing.
I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir.
Ah, yes, of course. Frankly rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave if you be so kind.
Oh, yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all your assistance.
Not at all, not at all. You don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. But a pleasure. Best of luck, all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out.
According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garrett is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging.
Did Sholmes just appear out of the window? Yes, he did. By Jove, man, what are you doing?
What's he doing over there? Mr. Sholmes?
Aha! We meet again, my dear fellows. Gracious, when did you sneak in here? Herlock Sholmes, sir. At your service. Whatever were you doing over by the window? I'm given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madame. Yet sadly, Chippo's room downstairs undoubtedly is, lacks an aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here. Well, I could want to know if that's just the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. One other thing, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh,
Me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind.
wait. He's not talking about... Is he?
I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon.
Do you mean Mr. Sholmes?
There's a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo.
I think so.
There's just time enough for one of my greatly admired Greek deductions. Let's conclude the matter before dark. Mr. Garrett, though it would seem you are a military man of considerably distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first rate. I'm afraid, sir, that is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I've been able to draw by a careful observation of your living arrangements. I beg your pardon. The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast. And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you.
So now, hold on, look! The old man's broken out in a cold sweat.
But really,
It seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on.
how? How could you possibly?
How could I possibly know?
The answer can be simple, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Nature of the beast. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? For a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Gardner, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that is rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. The fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts. What is this piffle, I ask you? In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact. You're a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you have tried to keep in this very house. What? Whoa, do you see his face? He had like a slap mark on it. Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you imagined. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well, yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where did this angry creature disappear to? Madame.
Me?
I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous. It is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is. Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. For protruding from its handbill advertising a circus show. Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garrett, at Betty's Circus. A traveling show currently sojourning in a nearby park. I've observed the tenants. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe. Hey, you certainly did not. I believe believe I had made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. A simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire. Now, Mr. Garrett, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you to you is verily tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beasts go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage. Nonsense, man. I simply... What? Must now ask ourselves is the true cause of this pain. We need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, there's this pile of bills that is giving rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. For cartloads of meats, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeling your beloved has had such a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. And so you had no choice but to let it go. Yes. Oh. Now, in the final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
Unimaginable?
The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet. Oh, it's burnt. That's what it is. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, dear me.
What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madame, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has set upon the answer very neatly indeed. Is it the missing candle? Yes, to explain the dire state of the cupboard, when you only look at the tower of cakes. There's no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an stage. Was it, or was it not once said by a certain nobleman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake? Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact.
Whatever do you mean?
Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. Sure, that spells the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There's only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks on the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India. What kind of lion does he see in India? Because... What? No. Wrong. So impressively wrong. Oh man. What a world he lives in all by himself. This concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle. That face. Ow! What is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Garrett, I'm
afraid I didn't notice.
My deductions at least startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times too.
Oh.
Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation? Why, certainly, Mr. Sholmes. What is it, again?
Well, your deductions just now.
Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room this size? Indeed, it's the only explanation for facts. The terrifying truth all too often lies behind the realms of common sense. But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well? But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garrett has made would have been hurt, or worse.
that's where you are stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using that large cannon. I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus. And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I've ever heard of a lion that drinks tea. My dear Mr. Sato goes to me with some regularity. That irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, they are imbued with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea. Oh, what a glorious notion. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again. I had a feeling that was coming. A slight massage. That's all Mr. Shum's deductions need. You could do it. Excellent. Been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. I don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help me, Mr. Natsume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe. Let us start again. From the beginning. Of Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Alright. Let me just drink some water. No, it's probably the cat that did this, right? Face the question, what form might this beast take? At further glance, there's just different the answer. Okay. I really didn't see the lion thing coming. No, but if you observe Mr. Gyardev's reaction, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room. Yes, something that I did. But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India. So what was it then? We must follow Mr. Gyardev's gaze. That will lead us to the true answer. What is this? What's this photograph? It appears to be from Mr. Gyardev's wedding. Looks very happy, doesn't he? It does, but you can't make out his bride. Now how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face. What happened? Probably best not to delve too deep there. Newlywed bride. What really caused the damage in this room? Is there anything else? Mortar shell? Shells with cannon? Let's keep them. Yeah, keeping shells above a fireplace seems like a bad idea. Shot him in the knee. That's what one does. Now, around that size it is, need to be nothing left of it. Unless it get up that matter. This is shells like a floating slipper. This man has spent shells. Perhaps it's customary in Britain to display, well, rubbish in use. Okay, I can't move anywhere besides left and right. So, the true nature of the beast of Rona is revealed by that. Well, this is the lion statue that Mr. Shum's picked out. Yes, I wonder. Perhaps you did live with a lion, it would prove to be a rather sweet companion. It's like a mouse trying to tell its family that the cat around the house is sweet. Because it is a bit of a flight of fancy, isn't it? Anyway, the beast we're looking for is something else. So we could look around. Are we really going to say that the beast that ran wild is his wife? The glass is broken, so you can't see the bride's face at all. But no amount of cracks would hide the woman's plump form. I think powerful would be kind of plump, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, she certainly looks that.
A lot of horsepower there. Not someone you want upset, that's for sure. Oh look, have you noticed her wedding ring? It's very large, isn't it?
Yes, that's an unusual design.
Looks like some sort of embellished sunflower.
Take that!
Let's try the bride. Or, should I have said that or the photograph? The true nature of these stars run rapidly is revealed by that newly wed bride.
Precisely, Mr. Noah.
No explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this framed print pictures your wife, Mr. Garrett. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms, and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. Oh,
Indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast.
honored might be a stretching point.
Too late. That means the beast which so clearly salvaged this room.
With your wife, Mr. Garrett.
The chilling traces of wild rampage are still very much in evidence.
Well, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature disappear to?
Madame.
Me?
I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it's plain to me with one glance in your direction.
It is.
Dress pocket is a handsome clothes to beast with night whereabouts.
Poor fragile defenses was besides herself.
Well, I don't know about fragile.
Dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of Mrs. Garrett anywhere. But it seems there may be a clue as to where her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garrett's wife could be. Can I see her hand? Yep, there it is. So, the whole thing about needing a maid to appear like properly classed, right? So his wife is pretending to be a maid. She's wearing a very large ring, look. Oh yes, a sunflower design. Some rather nice embellishments. Looks like a ring for her left hand, which means it's surely a wedding ring. Looks like it's on life too. Can't imagine it would slide up a finger of that size. That's something to think, Mr. Naruhodo. Not to say. Do you know, Mr. Garrett's well in the photo had a ring very much like this one? Large sunflower design as well. Really? It's a great memory for these things. A large sunflower wedding ring. Quite a coincidence that they have the same thing, isn't it? Is there anything else about this? Maybe we can examine the maid. Oh hey, look, there's broken glass all over there too. Yeah, this place really has some fucking beds. Look at this massive slap mark on his head. That's good. Wedding ring.
Take that!
Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Garrett's bride in this photographic crypt. In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. No. You are Mr. Garrett's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garrett herself. Oh my word!
Well, jolly fine detecting, sir.
As you rightly surmise, this is the wife, yes. My Joan. Let her let herself go, you might say, but she was a bally corker back. Oh! It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct?
It's not right, I tell you. I was 2nd Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? God, it's a sorry thing when the champion will afford to have a single maiden is employed.
Yes.
Here in London, one is rather judged. But household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are folly.
You mean Mr. Gyarados has his wife work as his maid?
Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Gyarados? Only in company, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please.
The raging wife. That's the description, isn't it?
Carpet gnawed by savage wife. Now, Mr. Gyarados, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blind pose, the distress this loss of pleasure is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Mr. Shump is quite something. Still calling Mr. Gyarados' wife a beast.
Yes, as a woman that feels rather uncomfortable.
But Mrs. Gyarados is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? How true! So perhaps that supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then.
According to Mr. Shump, Mr. Gyarados' pain is tangible, though. What did that pose was really signify?
That he's been slapped.
Oh my, look at that bright red mark! Gosh, that's quite something. And clearly made by somebody's hand.
Yes, Mr. Gyarados has been slapped in the face. It's odd.
It seems such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing?
Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say.
Take that!
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek. And of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on the cheek that refuses to fade. It was you, Madame Joan Gyarados.
Well, yes.
You have been desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir. Oh. How did you work that out, man? Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of relation, my dear fellow.
That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. Keep your other side from view.
Whoa. Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? Did he burn the carpet bags? In other words, we must ask yourself what caused Madame Gyarados to fly into a rage. Oh, she's looking at the glass, isn't she? And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes. It is this pile of bills. Wrong. You know what I should do? I should, you know how, like, you know, I've got some things floating around here to easily use, like this and whatnot. I should probably get that like one GIF / like sound clip of Trump going wrong and put that in here for these kinds of things, because it would fit quite well, I think. Considering, you know, that's basically what we're doing here. So I scrolled and then did some.
Didn't Mr. Shump say that the bills were all for line fodder?
Yes, but however, some of the line never existed. Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food
was Mr. Gyarados' wife. Mr. Naruhodo, she's a person, not a thing.
Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap on the face. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact.
Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder?
I'd love to know the answer to that question. This?
Oh dear. This plate's been smashed to pieces.
Nobody seems inclined to tidy up the mess. Perhaps it's some sort of high art.
Really, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, if it was a piano on display in the living room, it was clearly a little eccentric.
Yes, let's call it eccentricity.
Wait, what is this? The bookmark card has a heart mark on it. Or lips? Ah, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Garrett is clearly an avid reader.
Oh, wait a minute.
I don't think this is a bookmark.
No, it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary.
And look next to the signature here.
Lip marks. They were lipstick. What a passionate and romantic gesture.
Don't get any ideas, Susato-san.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry.
So this bookmark is actually a love note then. His name is John? Is that right?
Take that!
Yes, it is this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate. Perhaps the sender of this note, a certain Miss Mary, is the fly in the ointment here. Ah! What? I don't know the bally woman.
You don't know her.
That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. Oh, God, there. It was just in there, you say? That's right. That's what I've been saying. Oh!
A likely story.
Listen here, Joan, old thing. I explained at the time. I bought the book at that second-hand place. That note must have already been in there.
So, the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark.
That's right. That's what I've been saying. Ow!
A likely story.
For heaven's sake, woman, look at that name. It's written to James. My name, in case you'd forgotten, is John. Ow!
A likely story.
Oh, question my name now. And there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart, and you unleash a beast with the most ferocious bite. Now, the final fit of rage. The ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
Unimaginable.
The aftermath, which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. Very expensive wooden carpet, if I'm not mistaken. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madame. I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly. Yes. To explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the...
But surely Miss Garrett didn't eat the carpet.
No, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt. The state of disarray that this room is in is a result of her wild temper.
No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Shum's seduction that we need to fix. We need only to follow Mrs. Garrett's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer.
Alright, let's see what we can see. Yes. Circus handbill. Candlestick. Open as shit. Right. It's interesting I can't look at the candle like that. This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it? The base looks small, too small. Surely it's very unstable. It looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over. Oh dear, that would be dangerous. Wait, take a closer look at this. There's just one candle missing. Yes, I didn't notice that before. Why is that? Why is one candle of the three missing from this holder? Right, do this now. The carpet here has been ripped to shreds. Yes, in the corner of Mr. Shum's deduction, tears match those made by an Indian lion's teeth exactly. Oh, look here. What is it? If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks. Oh, yes, you can. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all. Let's rethink that with this in mind. Can I look at the candlestick again? Do I take a closer look? Oh wait, no.
Take that!
Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick. Most illuminating, my dear fellow. Of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks. It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. Mrs. Gyarados' mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. The force of her strike caused a candle to fall from the holder. In seconds, the carpet was alight, and the whole corner of the room in flames. Yes, but the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire. And in this room, that ferocious beast barred its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there's but one conclusion here. After the sparks of murder discourse flew, this room was the scene of a fire. Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you! Wow. Outfit scorched by a small fire. Look, the picture is like a twist on their wedding photo. Elementary. Elementary, my dear chat room. The deduction is complete. These dashed long winter nights, you know. Nothing to do but reading from the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. All my own novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material. For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems. Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather close. Might be rather close to the mark. And beasts most certainly apt scroll! Here we go again. And the carpet. Was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell on the floor? Ready to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. It was caught between the old six rage and the raging flames. You painted toward pictures, so one that would have been most entertaining. That's it. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. Valley furniture started going up as well. I'd hide the best behind that screen for the time being. Over here, Mr. Garrett. Well, you've got more to hide now, if you'll allow me. All my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got a hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. Gosh. My wife started hurling things at me. What a terrible sight it must have been. There was I, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books. Moving. Incendiary books and coming 10 to the building. Of course it is. What's my favorite? A book called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride? Ah, yes. The notorious love of big cats speak to you again. I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. The small man really did lose something to him as a result of the ferocious beast rampage. Mr. Shum's deduction turned out to be correct once again. Memory being described as a great British wonder. I tell you, total cottage. Flames everywhere and the old stick in full fettle. Out of interest, what time of day was that? Not sure I can remember. It's 2 days ago now. Let's see. Around 5 o'clock, I think. So at exactly the same time. as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below.
More terrifying on the inside, I can show you. The whole blighty could have been flattened outside my window at that moment. I wouldn't have noticed a dash thing.
Well, really? Mr. Shums.
Yes, Mr. Naruto. What can I do for you?
Well, I think we've got to the bottom of Mr. Gedup's situation now. But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances?
Can't help you there, I'm afraid.
What?
My dear fellow, you recall I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired Omni meant to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret could be relevant or not.
I just knew you were going to say that.
Not now, Mr. Naruto. Excuse me. Now, Mr. Naruto. You mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only two categories. Those relevant to the case and those not.
That makes no sense to me.
Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now.
Sorry.
The visiting hours of the prison will soon be over.
Oh, no. It's that time already. If we're to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we have official paperwork to attend to. So that's it. No more time to think. Perhaps I'd like to take yourself to be a farewell. I wish for a supper for Mr. Garrett. Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. Thank you both very much for your time. So Seki-san will be waiting for. I'm going to have to give him an answer.
So, I mean, even though it's not completely relevant to the case, it does feel slightly relevant. In the fact that at 5 o'clock, when all this was happening, if there was a fire in the window across the street, wouldn't people have been looking at that rather than elsewhere?
What a miserable sight. Yeah. But at least the whole room wasn't got complaints.
I suppose so. My whole collection would have been smoked, you know? All those novels I adore so much.
Well, John, whose fault is that?
Not mine, that's for sure.
Well, who may or may not be to blame. But sure you can buy some new old books to replace them.
New old books. Bloody nonsense.
It does sound like a contradiction in terms. But then these two are full of contradictions. That's a couple of sweetness now, hold on. Or so I've been led to believe.
Can I look at the window now?
Can make a policeman on the far side of the road without seeing the crime scene. The glass is rather murky, isn't it? You can't see very clearly. Does this thing open at all? I shouldn't underestimate the bitterness of a London winter, Mr. Narrow Hollow. Sorry. As soon as you open that window, the tea will freeze in the pot. No London will go opening windows at dusk in the middle of winter, I assure you.
Very unlikely this tea would have seen anything yesterday. Well, see, that's a good fact to know. You know, like, no one would be looking around.
This old candle holder looks a little out of place here. What do you say?
It's sure right. Clearly it's supposed to be gold. So it can be black for some reason. Ah. Just a cheap piece of ironmongery. Gimcrack, really.
Oh.
Used when I was studying, don't you know? My commission. I know it's hardly worth hanging on to, really, but still has its uses sometimes.
Of course. Because everything in this room has an elaborate story behind it. The memories, Mr. Naruhodo. Memories.
True. It's like whenever you, well, I mean, for me at least, whenever I go home, and like my parents are like, "Hey, can you like get rid of stuff or go through things in your room, etc., etc." It's not that hard to throw out certain things, but other things like there's just so many memories attached to it that you're like constantly assaulted by second thoughts.
Wait, I didn't go here. Didn't I go to the prison? It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison. Yes, I know. Let's have a carrot. Oh. What's the matter? It looks like something's going on over there in front of the Gyarados house. Who the fuck? I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Who you calling an old man, you rum-looking... There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than I dreamt of in your philosophy. Who's this Horatio fellow, eh? What are you all about? Excuse me? Who are you now? I'm sorry, it just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Yunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see. A lawyer? What? If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law. Fine. Be on my way for today. You mark my words. This ain't over yet. Get thee to a nunnery. Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you? Wow, okay, we're gonna have some characters at court. Assuming that these two are our witnesses. I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you. What was that all about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than there are dreamt of in your philosophy. I'm not Horatio either. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here, in the Gyarados residence? Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell on this humble abode. So Gyarados mentioned they had a lodger. This must be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger, who lives on the first floor? Ah, yes. A gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy of palmist. Oh, more worthy of palmist, my battle of words, now could there be? Sorry, Bachelor didn't say. Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night. I see. I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances, at least. So, fair maiden. So, good gentleman. I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well! I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room. Seems he's unaware what happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Sosuke-san and that man at lodges, the Gyarados house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go find the carriage. Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return. Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. It's quite twitchy. Oh, it's you. You're here. You came. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched. We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh, no. Nothing at all. Relax. If I were a cat, I would have a pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never fairly Nipponese! Oh, no, let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand... Oh, it's Sherlock. It is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. It's you! The miserable, rotten spy! Herlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes? What are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything, per se. Save of deserving, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading materials in that community, having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided to drop in on my way home to see how our divested friends fare. Beautiful room.
At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is the superior option. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight. It cost me not a penny. Ah, you! How dare you, Herlock Sholmes! Ugh. I've had it. Through the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. A terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is bedamned!
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there's much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed. There's a wholly appropriate description, I would say. For the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial.
What's that supposed to mean?
I imagine the spirits and those things that he's talking about and whatnot is whatever way the maid is keeping track of everyone. Or, well, the wife, rather, I suppose. I guess she's also the maid. But the way that she knows everything, right?
Mr. Natsume,
What did you mean by what you just said now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, let's see. That's really agitated. You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow?
are you referring to the prosecutor? The Reaper of the Bailey?
The Reaper? What do you mean? Please tell me. Summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words.
No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever.
Yeah, 16 words. Good job, Yunosuke. I assume that if that's like differing from the original translation, that given his like love of haikus and whatnot, that we probably gave it in the haiku. Oh my goodness, can it be really true? Those 16 words exactly.
Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Mr.
What? I'm impressed, Mr. Sutter. You have an eye for detail.
Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Von Zieks killed the man himself. No, he couldn't have, surely. Oh, you have some wonderful notions.
Sorry.
The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow.
Oh, yes. Of course he is.
Of course he is. Then why are you trying to scare me?
It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What on earth do you mean by that?
Von Zieks is a quite exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. That's good. Says he sounded like he's going to cry tears of joy. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling impostors as witnesses, and so on. By such underhanded means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail.
But it means the wrong verdict can be passed.
And sadly, it is from time to time, my dear madam. It is simply the reality of the situation.
And that's all right.
However, Those indicted by Lord Valzik cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed.
Oh my.
Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. They just must disappear, but how? Ah, by all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled underneath a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever. Or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. No. No. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. I knew it. I'm a dead dodo. Done for. Doomed! I assume that given, Sherlock Sholmes and all this other business and whatnot, that eventually we're going to have, like, something very Moriarty-esque. Kind of curious how they'll change the name, though. When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to Mr. Garrett's house, I assume. Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain. But I'd only been in London a week before I started those strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long, though. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were staring at me all the time from dawn to dusk. So I shut myself away in my room. That didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away.
You must have been very lonely. You've been away from your homeland for such a long time.
I had to move a number of times. Most recently to that room on Briar Road a week ago.
Yes. Why did you choose that? It seems a little inconvenient.
The rent is cheap. There was so little money and appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late. So I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it. If not, don't mention it in the first place." Yes, well said. But it was true. It was, it's true.
You mean, the room really is cursed then?
Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole. I sleep and plagued with nightmares. I wake feeling those I'm being choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbing in front of me as I walk down the streets. I'm Brady the killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm trying my scary teeth. Excuse me, sorry. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. And no one find it in his or her heart to believe me. Really, no one at all.
To believe. Yes, to believe. Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, me, Mr. Naruhodo. Pray, what can I do for you?
It's about the case on the SS Burial, if you recall.
The burial.
That case. The one with the snake. Well, yes. At that time I was the suspect. But you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate.
I did, did I? Interesting.
What I want to know is why. Why did you believe me?
I see, yes. You mean because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room?
Well, if you like, yes.
I'm surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it.
But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little.
I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me.
What?
You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in.
What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned.
But I could have betrayed your trust.
In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse. Whether or not one should trust in others in the final analysis down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, yes, he's right. He's right. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Whether or not I can believe myself.
A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his mind.
That comes down to how much faith he has in himself.
You're so right, Natsume. Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe.
Already?
Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me?
Oh dear. There's never enough time, is there?
Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you.
Hey.
Look, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. As I said, I only experienced the British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. What to believe in? The defendant, justice, or the truth? How to believe. But I think I finally worked it out. Decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. It's imperative that we prove that in court. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was in many ways made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Mr. Sato,
Yes.
would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court?
Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Cosmo believed in me. Mr. Sholmes believes in me now too. So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Soseki-san has no one. He's all alone. It was my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, the court, with all the strength I can muster. Alright. That's good. So we did both investigation parts here. I don't know if there'll be another one later on, but at the very least, we've investigated, and then tomorrow we'll be able to do the next trial. So we're going to stop here tonight, because as you can see, we've been going for 3 hours and some change. And I need to go to bed. While I did... like I said, take a nap this afternoon and end up taking some time off from work to rest and such, and I am feeling much better now. I wouldn't have streamed if I did. I do have to work tomorrow, I guess is my point. So I'm gonna go to bed now because it's 11:30, and I need to burn my AP and FGO that has accumulated over the past 5 or 6 hours, and
play the fun little idle event. That's been a ton of fun so far. So tomorrow is Wednesday, my dudes, and I will be playing Yakuza 5 remastered. And hopefully I will not be as tired as I was last time. So that we can get further. As I mentioned, I did watch the VOD to watch what I missed, so there's that. But yeah, so take it easy. Have a good rest of your day, or rest of your night, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And yeah, I'll see you later. Here's a cute little video thing.